Some of these gifts specifically are for digital and some are for film, but most of all, they are for you because you have no idea what to get, and I'm going to help you out. So let's talk about number one. The first gift on the list is a 35mm retrieval tool. So basically what happens is you will go through a roll of film and the camera will wind it back up. And this typically means that you're going to lose the leader or the last inch or so of film back inside the canister. So what a retrieval tool does is gives you the ability to pull it back through and to basically get access to that leader. And this is helpful for a couple of reasons. For one, if you're into film processing or development, you can then use this leader to access the rest of the film without actually having to crack the canister. And if that's something you're into, it's awesome. And secondly, this is really great for those rolls that have already lost the leader to the canister before you even got to shoot the film. This is an accident when you accidentally just roll it back too far, and it happens. It is, at time of recording, $9.99. Now up next, we have a small rig articulating 10-inch friction arm. It's a clamp and an arm combo. This one has made many lists this year, I've noticed, because it being so versatile. The arm itself can articulate 360 degrees at the center joint with the ability to tighten to lock in a given orientation. At both ends, you get a 1/4-inch screw to mount anything you want, including, but not limited to, the combo clamp with a rubberized grip and a T-style fastener to lock it out. This is a solid choice for BTS camera rigging if your person is into this, if they make content of any kind, whether that's for Reels or TikTok or YouTube, whatever, it is useful. But also, it's a solid option for anyone else on the list that has the ability or needs something to clamp something to and has a 1/4-20 or a 1/4-inch thread and inevitably needs a place to mount something. Something like a monitor or a mini light. If they're into video, it is still useful for these people too. The friction arm clamp combo at time of recording is $27.98. Now, in the same vein of giving somebody that is into film photography something that they're going to use this upcoming year, I want to recommend the Cinestill DF96 Monobath Kit, with an added Patterson tank kit for those who think their person is considering something like this, or even just dipping their foot into the home development photography world. This single bottle solution allows the darkroom novice to develop several rolls of black and white film at home in just a few minutes. And when you bundle it with a Patterson tank and a reel kit, which are sold separately, but I'll link them here, that photographer you love can get right out and start developing right away. And of course, for anyone interested, I do have some other videos back on the channel on this topic if you're interested. At time of recording, the Monobath at this point is $39, and a Patterson reel combo kit is $32. The next thing that I would get for this person that's at your house, that's into film and video, is a sturdy multi-tool, specifically a Leatherman. Now this, of course, is one of many models that the Leatherman company has made over its time, and it has everything that you could probably want except for one thing, which we'll talk about. With it, you get pliers, a flat and a Phillips head, a tiny opener, that typical can and bottle opener, and a rear blade for cutting into things. The one thing that I think it doesn't have that it does need is that hex and Torx head that the small rig tool has for camera specific equipment. However, this is more than just a camera item. It is something that is EDC related. It is something for anyone out there. But for me specifically, it's one that I use along with all of my other camera equipment, and I leave it in my bag because it is so useful in so many different aspects. If you're interested, I'm sure there is a model out there that has that hex and Torx. But for me, at this price point, what I like is the ability to have all of these other things. And if I really wanted one, I could just add a hex and Torx set. But for me, it's a great option, and I think it is one that everyone will love, especially if your person is out in the field taking photos or if they're in a studio making sets. At time of recording, the Leatherman Rev is $49.95. This V&D CPL combo filter gives you the ability to adjust for ranging exposures while also adjusting for reflections on all kinds of surfaces. Absolutely one of the best recommendations on the list. It is one that is not only a good thing to buy, it arguably is something they need, and it is something that they will love you for, especially if you get a high quality one like the K&F Concept VND CPL combo. This filter at time of recording is $92.99. Now next on the list is memory. This is typically the best time of the year to buy things like SSDs, hard drives, and SD cards to give that person in your life a place to stack all of those files. Again, photo or video, it doesn't matter. This one is for anyone that does things digitally. Now this year, I'm recommending the SanDisk Extreme Pro line, and it's one of my personal favorites that I've used this year. With a marketed write speed at about 260 megs, and the real number being a little bit off from that, but not terribly far. This is a quick way to get files from one point to the next and get them right into post-processing as quickly as possible. Whether your person has RAWs for clients or uses their cameras for verticals for TikTok and Reels, this is something everyone can use. An SD card gives you the ability to store those files directly from your camera and then move them quickly to wherever they need to go. And remember, SD cards look similar, and in my case, what I recommend is the UHS-2 V90 cards like the SanDisk for the fastest read and write speeds on SD cards specifically. If you haven't already picked up something like this for your person and they do digital work, which I'm sure they do it some way, I would highly recommend getting them an SD card, and this is the one that I would pick. Now the next item on this list is a little bit of a splurge for that person, so you better make sure you really love them. This is specifically for those people that already have a system they like and maybe don't need a full-on camera bag, but would appreciate a secondary for those kind of smaller moments or those things where you don't need a full-on kit holding up all of your stuff. For me this year, I used the Nomatic Luma 12-liter sling bag, which was a collaboration with Peter McKinnon, and it's the one that I'm recommending here. And with an outside that's durable and an interior that's rugged, stable, and padded, you get a side bag that protects your gear and keeps it close. My favorite spec of the bag this year is actually on the inside. Beyond the padded shelving and the ability to flexibly design out your organization, how you want it, the color itself is beautiful, but my favorite overall part is the magnetic closure. For me, I thought it was very simple, but a very good way of doing what you need to do with a bag. Really, this is a great bag and I highly recommend it. Again, it is for that person that you really love because at time of recording, the Nomatic Peter McKinnon 12-liter sling bag is $119. Okay, so that makes the list this year. Hopefully, some of these things, if not all of them, will resonate with you, or some will give you some ideas to consider for that person in your life who's either into film or video, digital, photos, whatever the thing is. I hope you get them something. Get them something awesome because this is a great hobby and I totally recommend anyone getting into it. And if you are like me and you're looking to get something for that person that loves this kind of thing, these are some things that I would recommend. And beyond all of that, have an awesome holiday. I'll see you in the next one.